sisters, welcome back to my channel. You know I'm always coming to you with those relatable topics. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, get yourself a snack, sis, or maybe even a notebook, and let's get right into the video. So bear with me. I know I got a whole bunch of colorful stuff going on, but I'm just in a relaxed vibe today. We got through New Year's, we got through the holidays, and I got some interesting content coming for you guys. But for today, this video, I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to this topic, and let's get right into it. So, sis, I think that it is inevitable inevitable that we start to set boundaries in our relationships, girl, because these men, I'm telling you, you give them an inch, they take a yard, okay? And it's very important that you realize that you don't need a man to validate you, meaning that you don't need a man to show you your worth. You don't need a man to allow you to feel like you should be treated like a queen. Like, you should have that attitude with or without a man, right, sis? So you don't need a man to validate you. And if you are in a relationship now, I think it's very, very, very important that you set your boundaries, sis, because remember, once you open certain doors, it's hard to close. And I think a lot of mistakes that we make as women, we fall in love, and that's not a mistake, but it's, something that we often mistake for loyalty, okay? And when we try to express our loyalty or try to prove it in retrospect to a relationship that we cherish, we often continue to make a small mistake where we accept anything from a man and we keep on forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. And sis, that's what I mean by it's time to set some boundaries. Hopefully you are still in the beginning phases of your relationship where it's not too late, because like I said, once you open certain doors, it's hard to close. So be mindful of what you forgive your spouse for or your partner for. Be mindful that it can eventually come back to haunt you in the relationship, because what you allow your man to do and how you allow him to treat you is based on what you put up with, and that's just the sad truth. um yeah, that's just a sad truth. Unfortunately, men don't think the way that we think, so they're like a kid in a candy store when it comes to relationships. They just, see what they want, get what they want, and keep it moving. And not pertaining to, just the common ground of relationships. I just mean in a whole, in general, they will see a woman that is like the total package in their eyes, and he'll go after what he wants, and it's simple, just like that. um yeah, so sis, bear in mind, take your time when you're in a relationship, when you're developing a relationship. Be mindful of the things that you tolerate, the things that you forgive him for, the things that you accept, because at the end of the day, it can spiral out of control. And it goes in reference with to what I said earlier. Once you open certain doors, it's hard to close. So if he cheats and you forgive him, be mindful that he might not stop cheating because you keep forgiving him. If he's abusive and you keep forgiving him, be mindful that it might get worse and he will continue to do so. If he lies about the smallest things and you continue to forgive him, same thing. It's kind of hard because you want to trust your partner. You want to give them a little bit of leverage, but at the same time it's a catch 22. And like I said, you don't need a man to validate you, sis. Like, you don't need a man to do certain things to show you that you're worth it in his eyes. You are worth it, point blank, period. To him, anybody else that comes after him, or anybody else that was before him, once you carry that certain type of confidence, then his behavior should follow. So certain things you shouldn't even have to forgive for, if you carry out your boundaries. Don't be afraid to set boundaries from the very beginning, because that's the only thing that's going to save you the heartache, the frustration, the anger, the pain. You know what I'm saying? Set your boundaries. Tell him straight up, this is what I'm not going to put up with. This is what I need from you. This is what I expect from you. Set your boundaries and let him know that he only got but so much rope to hang himself. Because I'm telling you, sis, later down the line, if you give him just a little bit too much rope, or if you fail to let those things be known in the beginning, then he would definitely take you for granted. He would definitely there's a Jamaican term, he would definitely draw you out like a shoes list. Like, yes, girl, he will try to test you and see just how much you will forgive and how much you love him and the whole nine. I'm telling you, sis, sometimes these men turn it into a guilt trip thing too. They'll do you wrong, and they know they'll do you wrong, or they know they did something wrong to you, and then they'll turn around and say, well, if you claim that you love me so much, then you will forgive me and give me another chance. But I mean, come on, sis, how many chances can you give him? Like, for real, how many chances can you forgive and accept and internalize? Because at the end of the day, when these men do things to us, our number one goal is to be a ride or die. So we try to thug it out like a G, but eventually it affects us on the inside, okay? It affects us on the inside. We start to wonder a lot of things to ourselves. We start to think a lot of things. And of course, we end up oftentimes insecure, because we just can't fathom the idea that a man that sits in our face and tells us that he loves us oh so much, or gives us an idea of what could be, can actually do certain things to you, and expects you to accept it and look past it and step over it like it never happened. It hurts, it cuts deep. And you want to be that good woman, you want to be his rock, you want to be the person that he can rely on. But does that mean to just accept everything he throws at you, sis? Does that mean allow him a little bit too much freedom in the realm where he'll turn around and just bite you every time in the behind? Like, you know what I mean? Set your boundaries, sis. Don't be afraid to do so. Just any small problem that comes up in the relationship, nip it in the bud right then and there. Because let me tell you, you're teaching him how to treat you. When you continue to forgive and accept certain things, you're teaching him how to treat you. You're teaching him how much self-love and respect you actually have for yourself, pertaining to this relationship that you share with him. So, be mindful of the things that you tolerate, because it can be a reflection of you as a woman, and your morals and your self-beliefs and your self-respect and your self-love. And that's the last thing you want a man to do. That's the last thing you want a man to do. Yeah, you sis, I'm telling you, you don't want a man to sit back and twiddle his thumbs and say like, oh well, if she forgave me for this, then maybe she must not love herself, because no woman out there would put up with this, or no woman would, you know what I mean? Like, just be mindful, be careful, sis. I'm telling you, we love our men, but you gotta love yourself too in the process. Don't let yourself slip away. You matter, okay? You matter. And your self-respect should always be at the utmost highest standard when in a relationship, because that's the only way that he's gonna make sure that he doesn't keep making mistakes, and that he doesn't keep hurting you, and that he doesn't keep making some little petty what's the word, petty behaviors towards you in the relationship in which he expects you to so-called love him so much and be his ride or die that you're gonna forgive him every time. Boundaries, 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 sis. I will never lead you astray. I promise you, these are things that I go through as well. I love you guys. Remember that you are a rare diamond and you deserve the love you seek, sis. If you haven't already, check out my new consulting agency down below in the description bar. I just graduated. I did a coaching course, and so now I am a relationship wellness coach. And if you guys didn't know, I also went to college for nursing and I have a health background. So all of this has led up to the new year. I'm excited. I consider it a blessing. I've been working behind the scenes and I've been helping a lot of other couples. Guys, I really genuinely enjoy doing this. So if you want to check out my information, hit up the description box. I have everything there. And remember to subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And sis, remember, set your boundaries, girl. Don't let that man walk all over you, girl. You are not a doormat, okay, sis? You are to be loved and respected and appreciated and uplifted and the whole nine, okay, sis? Because think of it this way. Half of the things these men do to us or try to pull on us, they would never, never, ever, ever tolerate it from us. Okay? They would never. So you just got to think of it like that. You got to put yourself in their shoes and say, he would never let me do this, or he would never let me get away with this, because then he would question my loyalty, or he would question if I'm a good woman. So, you just gotta play the game. Beat them at their own game, sis. Set your boundaries, girl. All right? Take care. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.